Do you normally look at the camera, or you kind of?
I sometimes do. I sometimes look at the camera. I'll look at you.
Yeah.
But sometimes I got a note one time. My manager he watched one of them. He was like, "You never look at the person," because I'm always like looking ahead of me.
Yeah.
He's like,
Right.
so it looks
Well,
like you're not
walking.
interested in what they're talking about.
They're telling a good story, and
they're
you're just
telling
like,
a good story. And I'm just like, but I also want to like be aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Well. Yeah. So all I'm saying is
This is the tuxedo store here.
That's the tuxedo store that your family worked at, owned?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let me give you like a quick intro. This is Elon Altman. I said it right?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Woo.
First time that's happened. And he's a comedian in New York. He's the winner of New York's Got Talent. You win the Boston Comedy Fest?
I should have won it.
Yeah, dang it. He also contributed to the Roast of Tom Brady on Netflix. And I'm just happy to chat with you, man. Walking down, he's a born and raised New Yorker. So this is like where you grew up?
Yeah, we're in the Lower East Side.
Lower East Side.
And this is where my family, they got to this neighborhood like in 1910-ish.
Oh.
So we never really left. We've been here for like 115 years.
Yeah, so man, that's crazy. Do you have like relatives that still live here too? Like aunts and uncles?
Yeah, actually, while I was waiting to meet you, I was like, I'm gonna run to my uncle. I know it, because he lives like really close to where we met.
Oh wow.
But yeah, my parents live in the building next door to me. My brother, my sister live over there too. They all have their own place, but we're all in the same complex.
Do you like that?
My aunt and uncle, my cousins.
You like that?
Yeah, because it's not like what is it, like King of Queens, where they're always popping in. It's annoying.
Okay. You keep your space.
There's no pop-ins, so it's pretty good. Yeah.
Is that a rule you had to implement?
No, they're just cool about that.
Oh, all right. What's the best part about like growing up in New York?
I guess it's like the freedom that you get, because at a very young age, you just are allowed to go anywhere you want.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just bad parenting, I don't know. But like, I was like 11 and just going off on my own to junior high school, like way far away from here, on like the bus or on the subway.
So you was 11 like the youngest time you rode the subway by yourself? You were probably 11?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I remember one time, it was the first Subway series, so Yankees versus Mets.
Uh-huh.
And me and my friend, we were both in the 7th grade, we got tickets, and we went up to the Bronx by ourselves.
Ooh.
And went to this Yankee game alone. And to me now, I would think that's a crazy thing to do.
It seems crazy. It does seem crazy though to me now that my parents just used to let me just like leave the house during the day and come back in like 6 hours. Just
with no cell phone or way to contact you.
Exactly.
They're like, well, we hope Marcus is alive.
Like nowadays I'd put an AirTag on the kid or something. You gotta do it, right?
Yeah, share my location always.
Yeah. Do you share your location with anybody?
My wife.
That's cool. That's good. I share mine with my wife too. And
I feel like they should rebrand it. Instead of share my location, it should be like, how much time do I have to masturbate?
Right. She's coming home in 5. Uh-oh, she's getting close.
Yikes.
3, 4.
Wrap it up.
3.
Wrap it up.
That's funny. Just your wife though? That's all you share it?
Yeah.
All right.
You have a whole slew of friends?
I share it with a lot of people. I don't care.
I don't care, but no one's ever asked.
Oh, okay.
It does feel like a pretty private thing to like know exactly where someone is.
That's true. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's fun to sometimes randomly just send someone a share location request.
Yeah.
It's maybe not.
It's stepping up the relationship for sure.
I think so. Oh, remember that meme outside of this place?
Outside of Mughlai Indian cuisine?
No, one more Thai.
No, that's our place. We get delivery from there all the time.
But there was that thing. It's like one more Thai.
No, I do
We're
not remember
gonna
that.
celebrate. Yeah, that's.
Was it like a viral marketing campaign?
No, it was just a TikTok some guy made outside of here, where he was like dancing, and then the song "One More Thai." You know that song?
I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, that played outside of One More Thai. Am I making sense? Also, there's a Mughali by my apartment, and it's amazing Indian food.
I wonder what that word means.
I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly. I think I always say Mughali.
Mughlai.
I always say Mughali because I'm an idiot. Someone please let me know.
It's funny because like to us we're like, oh, it might be the same owner, but really it's probably just like the word for food.
What does that mean? Who knows?
Write in and let us know.
Yeah, should we keep walking this way?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Ooh, we're getting crowded. It's a very nice day out. Maybe we'll see some celebrities. That'd be fun, huh?
Yeah, that would be really exciting.
TMZ tour.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I see Lil Nas X right over here.
Yeah.
Cowboy there he is.
I was at an event one time that he was at.
Really?
I was a few tables away from him, and then
so
afterwards
cool.
I went over to his table and his little name tag was still there, so I grabbed it. So I have a little piece of cardboard that says Lil Nas X, but like it's just a generic thing that's printed Lil Nas X. It doesn't,
That's so
like, there's
cool.
no reason to believe that it's real.
That's so cool.
But he touched it.
That's awesome. He touched it. Are you a big Lil Nas X fan?
No, not really.
Oh,
I think he's
okay.
cool though. He seems like a really cool, funny dude.
Yeah,
I bet he could be a stand-up.
Oh, totally. He has got a good stage presence and he's self-aware,
Very self-aware.
which is part of it.
He'd probably be shirtless. It would be,
that'd be all right.
off-putting for a lot of the.
Where are we going?
Let's stay straight.
Stay straight. Okay. Unlike Lil Nas X,
No,
we're staying straight. Am I right?
He went off on a curve there.
He sure did. No, that's good. Like, big fan. Big fan. So tell me about the roast jokes. You write roast jokes. You're really good at it. You contributed to the roast of Tom Brady. Did any of them make it?
Yeah, one of them made it on the air. That was really exciting.
Which joke was it? Can you
So
say?
I was sending some jokes to Jeff Ross, and the one that he used was he says, "I'm really happy that Kevin Hart is hosting this event because he already looks like a deflated football."
That's great. Oh shit! Watch out. How does that happen? Like, how does Jeff Ross ask you to write jokes and to, submit some for the roast and stuff?
Well, that was good. That was just a connection through a friend. So, like, one of my close friends in comedy, David Juskow, is Jeff Ross's best friend.
Ah.
And so I said to Dave, and I've done this in the past for other roasts too. I said, "Hey, can I send some jokes that you could pass off to Jeff?" And he said, "Yeah." And so
That's cool.
Jeff received the list, said they were funny, and one of them made it.
What other ones did you have? Do you remember?
Well, I had written a couple about like him kissing his kids.
Yeah.
Right? But then I think that must have been an off-limit topic because no one
Perhaps.
else did a joke about that. But the
Yeah.
one that I liked was in high school, Tom Brady played on the baseball team, but now the only time he gets to first base is when he's making out with his son.
I didn't know that him kissing his kids was a thing, but you're like the third person to tell me that.
It's just like, it's one of those things where you see this paparazzi photo, or sometimes it's a staged photo, and he's just like very open and loving, and it's probably a great relationship. But,
Yeah.
we're all idiots, so we like to make fun of
Yeah.
celebrities for doing stuff like
I think
that.
I've kissed my dad on the lips recently. Is that weird?
No, it's okay.
So what do you like about writing roast jokes and what's your process?
I just like, it almost feels like a formula, like it's like so much more structured than just stand-up. Stand-up, it can go in any direction. But with roast, it's like there's certain styles that you just know will work, and then you try to figure out how do I fit in this particular topic into that style of joke. Because when you do these roasts, it seems like there's also, a lot of times different comedians will come up with the same joke, essentially, or at least the same topic.
Sure.
And then there's like a fight between them, like who gets that joke.
Yeah.
So like when I had also sent in some jokes to Jeff Ross for the roast of Alec Baldwin
Oh, wow.
in 2019. And the joke, I had a joke that got on the air, and apparently my friend who writes for Triumph the Insult Comic Dog,
Yeah.
this comedian Dave Cyrus, he was like, there was actually a debate backstage because we had a similar joke, and Jeff was like, no, I want this one.
What was the joke? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I always get the wording wrong whenever people ask me this. Okay. Alec Baldwin got arrested for punching a guy over a parking space. Alec, next time valet your car, help your brother's business.
That's good.
Okay, I did it.
good.
I delivered it.
That's fun. That's fun. I like that. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah. So do you like sit down and just like write lists of things about what the person's known for and like
Yeah,
And-
and keywords. So for like
Keywords.
Tom Brady, it was like, well, okay, what are keywords? Like Deflategate.
Right.
Kissing kids, and then things like sack. You can make a pun on sack.
Oh sure.
Like,
yeah.
oh, he sort of loves sacks.
Oh, yeah.
He's really gay.
Yeah.
you know.
Right. Yeah.
Or he likes putting his hand underneath the guy's crotch and saying hut hut.
Right,
So,
right.
any kind of football related
Right.
puns. Puns are big.
Puns are big. Yeah. And they're more accepted in roast than just like if you're like too punny on stage as a comedian, people are gonna maybe get a little annoyed. It's more like
Yes.
dad joke style.
Right, but in roast, it's okay. I had one pun that I had that didn't make the cut, which was Tom Brady, like, the older you get, the younger you look. You're like Benjamin Buttchin.
That's really good. Something must be going on over here. There's a lot of people.
Well, this is Tompkins Square Park. We're in the East Village now.
Oh yeah, I love this park.
This is a park, if you ever seen the movie Die Hard with a Vengeance,
I don't know if I've seen that
that's
movie.
Die Hard 3, the one with Samuel Jackson as like his counterpart.
don't think I've seen it when I walk through the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They're like going around New York City trying to solve riddles of some crazy madman.
Do you have a favorite New York City movie, like movie based in New York, since you've
Wow.
lived here your whole life?
Taxi Driver?
I was thinking Taxi Driver. That's such
Because
a good...
to me, that's like the gritty New York that was pre my life.
Yeah.
But it really captures that, and I have some memories of being a little kid, like in the late 80s, of like New York sort of looking like that or feeling like that.
How did you get into comedy, Alana? I don't know if I know your comedy origin story.
Yeah, so I always liked writing jokes. I was obsessed with Norm Macdonald. I was even like, I would always contribute to this Norm Macdonald fan page on the internet. This is like early 2000s. And then me and the guy who ran that page, we were like, let's just try to do stand-up. Let's set a date, like next July, we both go to do an open mic. He lived in Boston, I lived in New York.
Okay.
And we were like, yes, let's do that. So I spent, and at the same time, I was also in college, I was taking a communications class, like public speaking. I was terrified of public speaking. And I took this class and I realized it's not as scary as I thought. So I was writing all these funny speeches and stuff, and I was gaining some confidence.
Okay.
So anyway, that summer I go to do like open mic at New York Comedy Club. This is like summer of '03. And I'm like 48th on the list, and it's horrible. They're heckling each other. I was like, it was like the meanest. It was not a friendly open mic at all. It was a horrible way to start. I was so long on the list that I had to leave. I had something else to do.
Oh no.
So I told the guy at the front desk, I was like, can I have my $3 back? I'm not going to do this, because he had to pay for the mic. And I was cheap. And he was like, why don't you come back on Tuesday night? We do like it's called a bringer show, and you just have 5 friends come, and you get like to do like 7 minutes or whatever in front of a real audience. And I said, okay. So then I did that. I did a bringer, and it was really good. This girl hit on me. I felt like, oh shit.
Not bad.
Ladies.
Not bad.
Yeah, I was wrong about that. That never materialized.
The
lady part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be all over me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that gave me the bug, and then I was just doing it like intermittently whenever I was back from school or whatever for years, and then I buckled down. I'd say like 12 years ago.
Okay.
And said this is what I want to do, and I got to really put a lot of effort in here.
Yeah. When did you go like full time? Full time comic.
I'm still working during the day. So
You are?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I do valuations for the music industry. I do if a songwriter's selling the rights to their music.
That's incredible.
We put a value on it for the buyer or for the seller.
Wow. That's so cool. I had no idea.
So I have 2 full-time jobs. I just don't sleep.
Do you want to go to Ralph's?
Yeah. Get some ices?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get a chocolate.
That's it?
Yeah.
You don't get a cream ice?
No, I just like the straight-up chocolate.
All right. Oh, man. Yeah, chocolate does sound good. The key lime pie is pretty fire, though.
There's a place in Corona, Queens called the Lemon Ice King of Corona.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
That's the best. This is very similar and really good, but like if you ever go out to like a Mets game, it's like one stop sooner on the train.
Oh, yeah?
And it's this place that's been there forever, and they just make them all right there, and they're so
That's sick.
classic New York.
That's sick. I love it. Oh, look at that. That looks so good.
Mine's so much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
This will take me 4 hours to eat.
That's all right.
So we 13.52.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, dude. Look at that. Oh, that looks so good. I'm so happy right now. What were we talking about before we got distracted with ice cream?
I was talking about my music job.
Yeah.
I don't like to talk about that too much, though, because to me it like makes people think I'm not a comedian.
You're very much a comedian.
Thank you.
It's almost impossible to live here without a side hustle.
Yeah.
You know, but I get that. Does it come easy after a while to write those roast jokes?
Once you get in the mindset of it, they come out really fast. I used to do a lot of roast battles back in like 2017, 2018, when that was like a hot thing here.
Yeah.
And if I had to battle someone, I would end up with like 50, 60 jokes. And they're all about one person, so then you're kind of useless, because then you do the thing, you whittle it down to like 15 good ones.
Yeah.
And then you just wrote jokes for nothing.
Well, maybe it's a good exercise, though,
It's a good
right?
exercise, but you can't use them again if they're really specific about that one person.
That's true. That's true. So are they a lot of these on YouTube?
Yeah, like the ones that were done at the stand, the Roast Masters ones that like Louis J. Gomez would host. Those are all on YouTube. So it's pretty cool. It's fun to like look back and be like, oh, I was funny back then.
Well, that's cool. I like that.
They used to always put me up against women for some reason. They would be like, you go against this female comic. And then I would just always lose. Because it would be, I don't know, I'm like less likable when you're the guy
Maybe.
calling a girl a whore.
Would you ever get like hurt, like any roast jokes cut deep, too personal?
Yeah, but it gave me a much thicker skin as a comedian. Once you start hearing enough of it, what people think about you when they're trying to make a joke about you,
Right.
You just get over it fast, and then
what would be the thing that would like kind of bother you at the time?
I don't know. They'd call me like a little dork, short, small, look like a Pinocchio, stuff like that. It was just the way they would say it. They were just often very. Someone called me like a rat-faced. I don't know what it was. It sounded kind of anti-Semitic, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that probably was. That's really funny. When you said Pinocchio, I was like, I see that though.
Yeah. It's like I became a real boy. They probably said that. That's a common roast thing. When you watch enough of these roast battles, you start to hear people do like the same joke basically, and you're like, okay, it's not that original, but it's still always funny. But like, what's funny is
look at this crime scene we're approaching.
Oh shit! Outside the Indian fried chicken place.
Everyone's all right.
The crime is that someone's trying to sell something called Indian fried chicken. No.
That does sound good though. I don't eat meat.
A little spicy, maybe. Yeah.
I don't eat meat, but I like me some fried chicken. Even like the fake fried chicken's pretty good.
I like a fried piece of cauliflower that's like fried chicken.
Oh yeah.
Where do you live?
Upper East Side.
Upper East, yeah. It's good to know good restaurants in different neighborhoods.
Yeah, I really love the Lower East Side though, and of course I'd love to live here, but I don't know if I could afford it.
I think where you are is more money than down here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you get more bang for your buck uptown. Though, don't you think?
It's hard for me to tell because like I kind of been grandfathered into where I live because my family's been there for so long.
Oh, so is your rent like $4 a month?
Yeah, rent is cheap, and like I got a great view of the water, and
wow,
we have a 2-bedroom place.
So is it an older building though?
It was built in the 50s.
Oh, that's not terrible.
Yeah. So pretty new, I guess, for New York City. Newer than the things around us right now.
Yeah, because there's mostly a lot of pre-war buildings on the Lower East Side, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of like what we're seeing here, tenements.
Yeah.
You know, well, my grandparents, when they were growing up down there, they didn't even have like a bathroom in their apartment.
They had to go in the hall?
Hallway bathroom, yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother said she would remember like rats running over her feet while she was trying to pee late at night.
Oh, that'd be terrifying. Recently, you've been on the road with our good buddy Modi.
That's right.
Opening up for him. And he's playing some pretty massive venues, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. We it's been really, really fun. This tour, we are gonna sneeze. No, allergies, you know?
Do you need me to be still when you sneeze? When my wife's about to sneeze, if I make a movement or anything, she gets upset.
No.
Okay.
It's a false alarm, folks. Yes, the tour with Modi has been really great. We were doing these big venues. We did Town Hall to kick it off. So in Manhattan, that's like a really
huge,
classic venue, and
right
it's a
in
place.
Times Square.
Yeah, and it's a place where I, in 2004, saw Mitch Hedberg perform.
Oh, lucky.
Like 3 months before he died.
Wow.
And I was the one in the crowd. If you ever watched a video of that, who yells out, "Kill yourself," and no, I'm kidding. I didn't.
my God.
But there were a lot of hecklers, and he seemed annoyed. But it was
Is it
so
on
cool.
YouTube?
No,
Oh.
it isn't. I mean, unless someone bootlegged it, maybe there's like an audio version.
Sure.
But yeah, it was kind of a weird. That happens a lot in this business where you're like, I saw someone here, I saw this band I like here, and now I'm performing on the stage. That's very weird.
Pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. So we did, Town Hall. Then we did like the Wilbur Theater, 2 shows up there in Boston.
Love that
We
theater.
did the Kennedy Center in DC. They had like the president's box. They let us tour it, and like there's a portrait of Dwight Eisenhower outside of it.
Wow.
And then we were like, so like, did Trump ever come here? They're like, no, never, not once. And then in December, I'm gonna be opening for him at the Beacon here in New York.
Wow, congrats, man. That's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome.
I cannot wait for that.
That's incredible. It's so fun opening for those way more successful comedians. You know, you get to see what it's like to be like that, to live a life like that in a way.
Yeah. And you can see, do I want that life or not?
And you do, because
It's pretty sweet.
it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've been touring. You've been opening for Mark Norman at some pretty cool venues.
Yeah,
right?
we've done a ton of clubs with him, a theater, and next week I'm back on the road with him. Actually, the day after this is released, on Thursday, I'll be in New Jersey with Norman.
Nice.
Yeah, so we do, a couple times a month. Maybe I'll do some shows with him, and yeah, it's fun to see the process, and it's also fun to see the journey these comedians are going on, with as their followings get bigger and their stock rises. It's kind of fun to see. what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. How they deal with their fans,
Yeah.
and also what kind of fans they have is interesting. Opening up for different people and seeing how your comedy works for people that are there specifically to see somebody.
Yes.
Like doing a comedy club, it's always a random group basically. You don't know what you're going to get. But these theater shows especially, they're there specifically to see this one person, and then you got to fit into that world.
Yeah. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but it's, I like a challenge sometimes. And then if you can make, their fans become your fans become their fans, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, and then they subscribe to your OnlyFans.
What? Do you have a Patreon or anything?
No, I don't know how to make money.
I started a Patreon, but I don't have many people signed up yet, but it's fun.
What kind of bonus content do you give them?
I'll put out like full stand-up sets.
Mm-hmm.
We do Zooms a couple times a month, where we're like just hop on a Zoom together and chat. We're reading a book. We're doing like a book club.
Nice.
We're doing that. And then I'll just post like longer versions of videos that I've posted to my socials there, like before I edit it down, like just like extra scenes and stuff. It's kind of stuff like that.
That's good. Yeah, Patreon is the way to go, right? People are retiring off their Patreons.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to do that, but yesterday I was digging through some old hard drives and I found my promo reel from 2006. So I put that on my Patreon.
That's so good that we have, because we're all so obsessive about recording everything we do.
Right.
Like, we all have tons and tons of content, whether it's recorded well or not, maybe the quality isn't as good, but when you have fans that want to see it, like, we've got it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also found, like, I shot a pilot for Discovery Kids in 2004.
Uh-huh.
I'm, like, the host of this science show, and I found, like, behind the scenes to that. I don't remember, like, filming any behind the scenes at all. But I was, like, 19 years old, and I looked weird.
Yeah, this way.
Yeah. Man, it is a popular brunch day, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, everyone's out. It's like the early weekend. It's a Friday, we're doing this, and we're taking advantage of the weather.
Love
So,
it.
when you were doing this Discovery Kids pilot, were you thinking, like, this is it? This is the break?
Oh, yeah. For sure. Definitely thought that. It was up between that show and then another show. And they told me, like, the testing groups, it was split down the middle. And the show didn't get picked up, but they did air the pilot.
Oh.
That was kind of
Okay,
fun.
that's pretty cool.
That's something.
But how'd you deal with the disappointment?
I think I was pretty bummed out, I'm sure, but it was kind of interesting because they never really told me it didn't get picked up. It just never got picked up, so I was always just waiting to hear from everyone what was happening. And I'd have meetings at, like, Discovery Kids, their offices are Midtown, and I'd meet with the executives. They go out to lunch. They just wouldn't, like, have an answer for me. And then I guess it kind of just was, like, slowly fizzled out, and I just, like, figured it wasn't getting picked up,
What if, like, today you get an email?
Oh, man.
Like, hey, I'm the new president of programming.
Oh,
I just
man.
found this.
Yeah, I would do
We
it.
want this.
I would do it. It was a fun show. It was, like, punked. But we punked people, like, regular people using science. And one of their, like, friends was, like, the culprit.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty cool. That's some good ideas.
Were you doing stand-up at that time?
No.
You were doing you were acting and
Yeah, it was acting.
magic, juggling.
Yeah, juggling. I never really did too much magic. Did when I was like 9, maybe. But, yeah. Definitely was doing a lot of juggling shows then, hosting, trying to, I moved to New York that year. I was just trying to make a name for myself, any way I could. So I'd perform juggle at nightclubs on, like, school nights, like, really late at night. And then I'd, like, fall asleep in school but I'd make, like, $70 or something.
That's the life.
It was, man. It was pretty fun. But I'm happy doing stand-up now. It's fun not to travel with suitcases and you still get paid to go to a gig, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that, like, And this happens also like opening at theaters. You realize like how happy the venues are when there's comedians. Yeah. They're like, okay, you're just, all you need is a microphone. Yeah. There's nothing else.
I love that.
You don't have a giant entourage. There's not all these other details to deal with. You're just you. There's no trunk of props that needs to get there.
So good. So fun. When you write your typical jokes, not your roast jokes, but like your, your Elon jokes.
Yeah.
What's your writing process for those?
It's different depending on the joke. A lot of my jokes are kind of short.
Okay.
And then, so maybe it kind of starts as a tweet, like, oh, this would be a funny thing. And if I feel like it has some legs, I might figure out how can I make that a joke for the stage, change the wording a little bit.
Sure.
Or find like the intro that makes it make sense.
Yeah.
And then other ones become longer bits because you just keep building pieces onto them. So like, I have like, the joke that I close with is about this Chinese restaurant called Han Dynasty, which isn't that far from where we are now, actually. And I remember seeing the sign one day, and I was thinking like, oh, the words look like handy nasty if you just look at it a different way. And then I just built a whole story around that with like tons and tons of jokes within it. And, it just built and became something. But like, the hard part, I think, is making things seem like they're real.
Yeah.
Because like, you want the crowd to think that these crazy things are really happening to you, but a lot of times we have to exaggerate from a kernel of truth.
Right.
And but if they don't buy into it, then you're just doing some weird performance art.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You're a character versus like a real person.
Exactly.
But when I do jokes about my wife, for example, like afterwards, her friends, if they're at the show, they'll say to her, "Did that happen? Did you do that? Did you say that?" And she's always like, "No, I didn't do that."
Yeah.
So that means it's working,
Yeah,
they
totally.
believe it.
Totally. That's very true. When I do jokes about my wife, I do the same thing. Do you have a favorite venue you've performed at?
My favorite venue is this place called the Comedy Cellar.
Oh yeah. That's where we met.
Yeah, it is. So I used to sneak in there when I was underage just to watch shows. Because the Comedy Cellar used to be not as popular as it was always the place that I thought had the best comedians.
Sure.
And I think that's been true for a long time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the way it is now, where they have 70 shows a week.
Right.
It was like there was 1 to 2 shows a night, and they weren't sold out necessarily.
Yeah, I remember going on their website and printing out a brochure for a free ticket.
Right. That's what I'd always do. You print out a thing on the website, you get free entry.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is buy your 2 drinks, which were never exorbitantly priced like other comedy clubs.
Right.
So like I was in high school, me and my friends would go. The first time we went though, we were like 17. You had to be 18 and older to get in there.
Yeah.
So we get in, they didn't ID us at the front. We're downstairs waiting for the show to start, and we bring out a pack of cards and start playing spades with each other. Because that's what we were into back then,
Yeah.
And then the waitress comes over, she's like, "How old are you guys?" And they kicked us out. But then we came back like the next week and just didn't do that, and we were fine.
That's funny. Who were some of the guys you'd see? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember seeing Colin Quinn was always there, Greg Giraldo, Nick DiPaolo, Jim Norton, Daryl Hammond was there a lot back then.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. Like, oh, that's the SNL guy.
That's awesome.
It was just like amazing that these people were so close to you.
Yeah,
I also met Dave Chappelle there one time in like '98.
Oh my God.
He was just
it was like peak Chappelle show, wasn't it?
Pre-Chappelle show. It was like
okay.
It was like Half Baked had maybe just come out.
That's it. Yeah.
But I knew him because I remember like Robin Hood Men in Tights, which he was in when he was like 19.
Right.
So like his face was always familiar to me. And I was with some friends. We were just eating at the Olive Tree. It was before we even tried to go into the comedy show. But we were just up there on a random day at like 3 in the afternoon. And Dave Chappelle is sitting by the bar talking to the bartender with his baby in a bassinet.
Oh my God.
So you can look up how old his oldest kid is. That's the kid I saw. That was like an infant then. And as he was walking out, I was like, "Hey, Dave," and he was like, "Hey, dude."
Oh, that's
and
fun.
I was like, "Holy shit."
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Love that. Oh man, Elon, thank you for joining me on this walk on the Lower East Side. Had a great time. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Elonstagram. That's ELON Instagram.
That's awesome.
And on Twitter at Elon Altman. That's where I post funny things that usually don't make it to the stage.
Yeah. All right, man. We did it. Woo. Talkie Walkie, baby. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and or watch another one. Watch another video. Could be fun. I don't know. Could be cool. You're already this far. You're